Hello, my name is Elizabeth Halsman, and this is my math project for the semester. My project is called The Math of Small Changes in Nutrition, and specifically, we're looking at how those small changes can equal big health wins. So small bites, exponential results, looking at how small changes compound like interest so that we see over time significant results. We are going to focus on two easy swaps that you can make. The first one is the addition of 1 tablespoon of olive oil daily, and the other one is the removal of one 12-ounce soda daily. And we're going to see how that affects um, specifically our weight and sugars over time. So what we are looking at here is the significance of increasing our olive oil intake by 1 tablespoon a day. And this graph is showing us that over time, we are going to prevent weight gain of 0.18 kilograms, which is about 0.4 pounds or maybe a little under half a pound. And we see that over a 4-year span where without that olive oil intake, this is the average um, weight gain that you would see. And of course, this is based on studies from our research. And we are going to look now at the equation that we used to determine how that olive oil weight loss occurs. And so our equation is the change in our weight equals the impact per serving per year times the number of servings per day times the time in years. And so, for example, we're looking at 1 tablespoon daily over 1 year, and we're plugging in those numbers. We're looking at for the weight change, and we're taking each of these corresponding pieces and plugging them in and showing that our weight loss is about 0.18 kilograms or 0.4 pounds over 1 year. When we're looking at soda, the equation that we're using is A equals P times T, where A equals the total calories saved, P equals calories per soda, which is 140, and T equals the time period in days. So over here, we can see that daily 140 calories are saved. There's no significant weight loss. Weekly, we're saving 980 calories, no significant weight loss yet. But as we come down here to monthly 30 days, we are saving 4,200 calories. And if you see down here, our note, 3,500 calories equals approximately 1 pound of fat. So in 30 days, we are seeing 1.2 pounds of weight loss from fat. And then yearly, we're going to have 51,100 calories saved, which is equal to 14.6 pounds of weight loss, which is a pretty significant amount of weight lost over one period. And again, we're looking at those small changes that are adding up over time. And this is important in our holistic healthcare because we're not necessarily going to see drastic changes. We're not going to have a plummeting of the weight, but because we're going slow and steady, we're also not going to see some of those impacts where you might have excess flesh or skin on the body as a result of a rapid weight loss. So this is also a little bit um, better on your system than those dramatic shifts that can occur when we are using medications or other methods. So here, this chart, we're talking about adding 1 tablespoon of olive oil versus ditching soda and the caloric math and the real impact here. So our blue line here shows the impact of reducing one soda per day over 1 year, and we see that almost 15-pound weight loss. And then the red line is showing us the weight gain that would occur if we were adding that soda into our diet. And the green line here is our olive oil. And again, that is showing that slow and steady reduction of weight. So you can see pretty clearly that the difference between adding a soda and taking a soda away is pretty significant over the course of a year. So healthy when adding olive oil. Let's talk about some of the reasons why we want to add olive oil in addition to that weight loss. We know that weight loss is not the end all be all of health, although it can have a significant impact, especially if we have other chronic illnesses going on. So 1 tablespoon a day of olive oil is linked to 19% lower all-cause mortality. So that is suggesting that just by increasing olive oil, we can increase the longevity of our lifespan 19%, which is pretty significant. And I personally want to live 19% longer. So this is something that I have incorporated into my daily routine. Research also indicates that olive oil reduces inflammation in the body. It improves our LDL or bad cholesterol levels. It lowers our blood pressure and it combats oxidative stress. So these are obviously pretty significant health benefits. There's also studies that show substituting olive oil for other fats prevents long-term weight gain and it cuts our cardiometabolic risks. In addition, this study by Gauche-Fair et al. Found that olive oil reduces the risk of cardiovascular disease, coronary heart disease, type 2 diabetes, stroke, and hypertension. I believe all of these are on the top 10 list of chronic conditions that impact older adults. And so any time that we can do something to help reduce that risk is obviously very beneficial. Again, this study was looking at 121,000 plus participants, and what they showed was that a higher intake of olive oil equaled better fat quality for sustained health. Now, taking a look at the research behind soda, Health Wins, ditch soda for better days, soda's hidden toll, and your escape. So go down here to the bottom to start here. The CDC recommendation is to cut back on soda. Soda is the leading source of added sugars in the US diet. And so we want to make sure that we are reducing that impact on our body. So let's look at why and what's happening with the sugar. Sugary drinks have been shown to drive weight gain in kids and adults. And soda is linked to increased diabetes, obesity, heart disease, and cavities. This is all from studies and then the CDC. Soda, sugary drinks also displace nutrients and spike poor health. So we know obviously that sugar is not necessarily a nutritive addition to our diets, but beyond just the impact of the actual sugar in the soda, we are seeing that even if you have a healthy diet otherwise, the sugar is displacing the nutrients that you are taking in. So you're not necessarily getting even the benefits of the healthy diet that you're having otherwise, because of the intake of the sugary sodas. So looking at the two of these together, dual benefits, we have heart protection and weight control from oil, and we're slashing diabetes, obesity risks by cutting the sugar in the soda. We Adding olive oil increases our lifespan, protects heart, and improves health. Cutting out soda reduces the risk for disease and reduces weight gain. Together, adding 1 tablespoon of olive oil and cutting out 1 can of soda equates to a total of 15 pounds of weight loss per year, which is again pretty significant. That olive oil is going to account for over a year, a zero point 0.4 loss, and then we have 14.6 pounds from the soda. And together we're getting that number of 15 pounds. So we're adding olive oil, we're subtracting cola, and we are getting better health overall. So how do we go about incorporating these changes into our diet? Adding olive oil to the diet is actually very easy. And this first, I do all of these. But the first one here is a coffee oleto, which I think Starbucks actually made like they had their own oleato fancy drink, and so you can make your own at home by adding 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil to your morning coffee with 1 teaspoon of maybe raw honey or maple syrup as a sweetener. I actually don't put honey or sweetener in my coffee, but if that's something that um, you need in order to make it palatable, I would just err maybe on the lower side for that so that you are still getting the benefits. And then you use a frother to whip your drink into a tasty treat. So you're just incorporating the olive oil into the drink, um, and then just enjoying it as you would your normal coffee. I like to do mine instead of with the honey, I do oat milk and froth it, and it is equally delicious. You can also do what I refer to as olive oil shots, where you're filling a shot glass with a good quality extra virgin olive oil and just drinking it. Again, it's about a tablespoon is what you want to fill in your shot glass, and then you just drink that. Better quality olive oils are the recommendation. They're going to have a better taste, and it's going to be much more palatable and easier for you to do that. The other thing with olive oil is that it helps to lubricate and moisturize the body too. So you may see a significant difference in your skin. And then the other thing you can do, Mediterranean diets are often referenced in the research that I was doing. And one of the things that they do in a Mediterranean diet is they frequently drizzle olive oil on the finished meal. So instead of using butter, finish cooked vegetables with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. You can also do this over meats. You can add this to salads. You can use olive oil and a little bit of balsamic oil or vinegar as your salad dressing, just with a little salt and pepper, and it's delicious. And then, of course, you can add this to pastas. A lot of times we add olive oil to pasta to keep it from sticking together. And this is also going to give us some benefits other than just keeping the pasta from sticking together. And then the last option here is better popcorn without butter, using extra virgin olive oil to top your homemade popcorn, and then add a sprinkle of sea salt, maybe a few of your favorite spices like chili powder or dill seasoning or taco seasoning for a fancy snack. It's really quite delicious, especially if you add some of those spices. And you can also do a sweet if you wanted to add like cinnamon or maybe cinnamon and cardamom if you liked a more sweet flavor. So, how do we cut out soda? So, again, it is very hard because sugar is very addictive. It lights up all of those addiction places in the brain. And so, we want to be respectful of that, that we don't necessarily just want to say, okay, cut it out, you'll be fine. You may experience headaches at first. You may feel kind of icky as your body goes through that detox. So offering some soda alternatives that can help both the addictive side of sugar as well as kind of helping to cleanse and detox the body. So adding an alternative such as lemon or lime water, where you're just taking half a lemon or a lime and squeeze it into 8 to 16 ounces of sparkling or still water. Again, you may add a little bit of raw honey for sweetness, um, or maybe just a pinch of cinnamon or cardamom to enhance the flavor profile. You might also try infused fruit water, where slicing fresh berries, melon, citrus, or any other fruit, about 1 cup of fruit or berries, and put this into a 32-ounce pitcher, and then fill it with still or sparkling water and allow it to infuse overnight, and then just enjoy it the next day. And then we have cucumber mint water, where you're slicing cucumbers and chopping fresh mint, about 1 medium-sized cucumber and 1 bunch of mint. Add this to a 32-ounce pitcher, and again, fill it with sparkling or still water. Infuse it overnight, or you can drink this one immediately. Fresh herb water, choose your favorite herb, such as mint, spearmint, lemongrass, or basil. Chop these fresh herbs up. You need about half a cup to a cup of fresh herbs. Add to a 32-ounce pitcher and fill with sparkling or still water. And I think it got cut off here, but again, you're going to infuse that. You can drink it um, immediately, or you can do it the next day. These are all delicious, great ways that you can help yourself to let go of soda and gently cleanse the body with some actual nutrients. So now it's your turn, based on the information that you have learned here, the impacts of sugar in soda on the body, and how we can use olive oil to increase our health. So starting small and winning big, we're going to take your diet plus 1 tablespoon of olive oil minus 1 soda, and that's per day. We're going to give ourselves weight loss and lower disease risks. Try it for yourself. Track what you are taking in for 1 week and watch the math add up in action. These are the references that I used for the presentation. These are all of the studies and research articles, and then of course the CDC was also one of those references. And you can click on any of those links if you would like a little more information about those studies. And we'll go back here to the beginning. And I hope that you learned a little bit of the math of small changes in nutrition and how those small changes can equal big health wins over time. And again, that is the goal of holistic care, is watching those small changes bring about large impacts in our lives. I hope that you are able to let go of soda if you drink it. And if you are already blessed to have stepped away from soda, maybe try adding olive oil to your diet and see how that impacts you. Thanks, guys.